All right, so market saturation. I just saw a video on this, and I just want to, I guess, give my 2 cents in it, because I feel like this conversation comes up constantly, and it's always the same kind of nonsense. And here's the deal: everyone's afraid of, oh, the market's saturated. Oh, lawn mowing is saturated. Oh, it's so like because the barrier to entry is so low and the equipment's so cheap. Well, here's the deal: the equipment's really not cheap anymore, and quite frankly, just because the market is saturated doesn't mean that you have to be afraid to do this business. You don't have to be afraid of everyone in the business, because here's the deal: yes, the market is saturated, but it's also segmented. Okay, not every single person is someone you want to work for, and that runs the game. Like, there are people that expect $20 cuts. We had a Facebook post locally, I think 2 of them last week. I got a little tiny yard, and I'll pay anyone $20 a week to come do it. I was like, yeah, I bet you would. I would love to pay people $20 a yard to take care of my yards for me, right? But you're not getting the cream of the crop. You're not getting good, high quality work. You're not getting a reliable guy, because that's not enough money to do this reliably. And that customer is not my customer. Okay, that's not my market. The people that, the 50 people on each of those posts that were desperate and going for that and saying, I got my own mower, I'll come do it. Those are not my competitors. Yes, technically they're competition. They're in the industry, right? But that segment is for them. It is not for me. Those people are not for me. Okay. And on the flip side of that, there are people who have a world of money, just piles and piles of it. You could almost, they sneeze and like nickels fall out of their pockets or something, like just tons of money, right? And they're so picky and annoying and frustrating and particular that it's equally as miserable to work for them, because even if they're paying right, they're just hard to work for and they're frustrating, and the thing is, there are guys who are better than me, okay, that can handle that and will absolutely handle that if it means they're going to get that paycheck, right? That's a market within the saturated industry. That is a segment of the market. That is not my market either. I don't want those people. If I wanted to be miserable and I wanted to be on my toes and make every little teeny tiny little last thing perfect, I could have just stayed working in a normal, job. So, all that to say, yes, the market is saturated, but not everyone's your competition. The guy spamming Facebook Marketplace every 5 minutes and getting tons and tons of work. Like, if you're paying attention when you do your quotes, okay, look at the yards, pay attention, lock them in your mind, and then look at everyone else's posts. Okay, look at the other competitors in your area and look at their posts. And all of these jobs that you don't get because your price is so high, you're going to start seeing their yards pop up on these cheapos. Okay, these cheap guys, these desperate people who get volume and they don't get, money, they don't get paid well. And you're going to know who's getting paid and who's not. And you're going to see a lot of people not really getting paid on all these jobs that you're going to quote, but you don't get them because you're just so expensive. That's outrageous, But then there's, so-and-so who posts 40 times a day. There's that yard that I quoted, right? It happens all the time. And all that to say, I don't see that and feel bad or like get down on myself or like, man, it's so saturated. Like, it's not for me. I'm not for them. And they found their guy. They found their segment. The mower found his segment, right? And you have to do that. You got to find where you belong, and you just got to kind of nestle in and find, it's find your place, right? Find your people. And when you find your people, you're going to have an absolute field day. These guys that do it for $20 are having a field day. They're getting so much work. They're so busy. They're so successful. Okay? but I would be miserable in their shoes. And I know that because I've been in their shoes, you know? And here, let's throw out some numbers, because people don't actually throw out numbers. But I think early last year or mid last year, there's a video somewhere. I was looking at my earnings, and I was looking at the number of customers, and it was something like 32 or 36 customers was on track to bring me $80,000 last year. So think about that. And then based on the numbers that I see a lot of people acting like or flexing that they've got 100 customers or 80 customers, and they're going to make 120 grand this year. And I'm like, if I added 70 customers or even 65 customers, and I didn't even double my money, but I 3x'd my customer base, I would be absolutely beyond miserable. And I would lose my mind, you know. But there are plenty of people who thrive in that and would be just fine. And they see the number of customers as the flex, or as the thing, right? That means I'm successful because I've got so many people. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have anything to show for it at the end of it all. You know, you can't keep employees because you can't pay them. You know, there's no extra money for growth. It's difficult in my opinion. But if they can make it work, they can make it work. I can't make that work, and I would be miserable. But yeah, anyway, all that to say, keep in mind, yes, the market is saturated, but it's also segmented. Find your little segment, nestle in, get cozy, and get familiar with it, and just, you know, slowly add on and slowly build and slowly expand. You know, you should be making enough that you pay yourself a salary, you pay your operating expenses of all different categories and subcategories, and on top of all that, you have just money in the bank that is growing, a little nest egg for the business, not for you, for the business, that you can just peel off a few dollars anytime you need it without penalty or tax fee or anything like that, right? And if you can do that, you're good to go, and you've probably found your segment, your market segment, right? So, all right, that's my 2 cents on saturation. Thanks for watching. Keep moving.